Hey comic book family, you are watching Guy's Comic Life, and this week I'm going to be showing you my stack of comic books from the week of August... Damn, is it really that late in the year already? August 9th, wow. It is actually August 11th right now. I'm showing you my books a tad late because I did a little toy haul this week and I wanted to get that out to you first. And I did pick up another lovely action figure. This is move my camera. This is Storm from the X-Men Apocalypse wave. Man, she looks gorgeous. I love these lightning effects. And that head sculpt is amazing. I love this 1980s Storm. I mean, yeah, 90s Storm is badass too, but I love this punk rock version of the character. Very good, very clean figure right there. Alright, now let's get into the nitty-gritty, the comics. The reason we're all here. Okay, so first, now I know how we all feel about this comic book. Batman 50 was an atrocity. I hated it. The story was a disservice to the character. It ruined Batman and Catwoman's relationship. And I haven't read anything past Batman 51. I'm not going to read it until Tom King is off the book or until a story is announced that sounds interesting to me. But I pre-ordered this 2 months ago when there was hype around the book. This is a J. Scott Campbell variant cover. See, on the front you got Catwoman and you got Batman. This is the cover A, the trade dress version. Pretty cool. Let me back up my camera a little bit. I can see the books better. But yeah, love Batman and Catwoman standing on the car together. It's pretty badass, and it's neat. They included a little J. Scott Campbell sticker on the front of that. These aren't really new. There's a couple issues in here that are like semi-new, you know, but it works. And I mean, don't get me wrong, there's like 6 new books here, but a couple of them are a little bit old. This is Venom #1 from Marvel Now. This is when Lee Price was Venom, when he donned the suit before Eddie Brock took over again. And he is now currently Maniac. And this is when Costa was on the book. I do like this artwork a lot. I think it's really cool. Kind of fits the Venom character very well. I'm going to read this run. I haven't read this run yet, but this is the first appearance of Lee Price and the first time he wears the Venom symbiote. So I figured it was a key. It was in the... I found it for a cover price, so I figured, why the hell not? It's a good place to start. Okay, and I missed this a few weeks ago. This is Robert Kirkman and Scott Gimple's Die 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 from Image Comics. And it's really cool. No one knew this was coming out. Like, shops got this and they were surprised. Like, they knew a surprise book was coming out, but they didn't know what it was, who it was by. So a lot of shops didn't order a lot of them, and there were like 10 different covers. And this is the blank cover. There's like covers where they say phrases. Like, I think the person on the bottom says, "I'm drunk." And then in one where they say their names and say different phrases and stuff like that. But yeah, I cannot wait to read this, and I cannot wait to check it out. A book I did read, which took me by surprise. I didn't think I would enjoy it as much as I did, because I didn't like what happened in Infinity Wars Prime. I didn't like that they killed Thanos, and I wasn't happy with who the identity of Requiem was, but the art by Mark Deodato is astounding. I loved Infinity Wars issue #1. I think that Gamora, spoiler, Gamora is Requiem. I think she's going to have a great story arc here, and I can't wait to continue with this series. Spoiler, at the end of the book, she stabs her lover, Peter Quill, Star-Lord, with her sword that was recently forged. So, crazy. I don't know if he's really dead or not. I hope he's not dead. Okay, so the new books this week. We got Superman #2 from DC Comics. I love this variant cover so much. There were a lot of good variant covers for this book. There's one that Adam Hughes did where he's like catching a bullet to stop it from killing another woman. This issue was a little bit of a letdown for me. Now, I will say that the artwork is phenomenal in this book. Ivan Rice, I think is his name. He's doing a really, really good job. I like the way the matte paper feels. Like, it feels like you're kind of reading a 90s comic book. But Bendis, it's not the story. The story's good. He needs to keep his political agenda out of books. And he just needs to stop talking like a 5-year-old. Like, he's mocking Donald Trump in this book. Like, you cannot like the president, or not my president, whatever, but you cannot like him, but why do you gotta, like, say Superman's, like, saving people? Why do you gotta have Superman say billions and billions and billions and billions? It's like, come on, dude, that's so obvious. Like, why? Don't do that. And there's like a panel when, like, Superman's looking at the Earth in the Phantom Zone, and he's talking about, like, this sucks, like, everything sucks, he's like, I'm an award-winning journalist, but I won't admit this day sucks, but this is sucky. Like, he says sucks like 5 times in the same paragraph, and I'm like, dude, that's very immature. But what keeps this book awesome is Rogol Zaar. He's a very cool villain. I can't wait to find out more about him. And it's cool, this issue reintroduced Nuclear Man, the shitty villain. Sorry for cursing. The terrible villain from Superman 4. I think that was The Quest for Peace is what that one was called. But yeah, Bendis brought him back in this book. I thought that was cool. And I thought it was funny. Like, he shows up in a full splash page, and then 2 pages later, Rogol Zaar just, like, smashes his head, and then the nuclear energy just, like, kills him. You know, like, a nuclear bomb goes off. I thought that was hilarious. But yeah, dope cover. I think that's cover C. I was happy to get that. Now, the Batman books that I have picking up are titles that don't include Batman. This book spawned from Batman 50. This is Catwoman number 2, and this is the cover B by Art Germ, Stanley Lau Art Germ. Badass, man. This Catwoman looks angry and sexy all in one. Very powerful character. But yeah, we got Catwoman taking on a bunch of copycat Catwomans that are trying to frame her, and it's funny, she, like, kicks all their butts, like, in a matter of seconds, just kicks all their asses. And we see, like, politicians and, like, that lady with, like, no face, like, trying to frame her, and they, like, invite her to a party, and Selena Kyle, like, goes there all dressed up, and that's where issue 3 is going to take us. Alright, the next Batman series that I'm picking up, the one that's good, is by Bryan Hill. And this is Detective Comics 986. And it's cool. We get a little what is this? Horizontal. Yeah, this is a horizontal shot of Batman with the Batmobile. Mark Brooks killing it. So this is like a Batman 1989 combined with like a Batman Arkham Batmobile. So we got like the 2 best Batmobiles ever into one. And I love like the blueprints and schematics at the top of it. So in this issue, Batman faces off with Karma, and it's like a duel to the death, and yeah, very good fight scene between the 2 of them. We see that, like, when Batman created Karma, we see, like, his face is all, like, disfigured, and you can't see, he's, like, blind and shit. And the story concludes with Karma in the next issue. I wonder what's going to happen with that. And this has been so fun, man. So fun to read. This is like a breath of fresh air. This is the Amazing Spider-Man issue 804, legacy numbering, but it's number 3 if you want to go by the new numbering, but 804. And see what I mean? Ryan Ottley draws a very good Spider-Man, but that Peter Parker just looks awful, man. The art just looks like it's for kids. I mean, the action scenes in this book are great. I just don't like his side characters. Like, it's funny, like, the story's great. Like, I love that Peter and Mary Jane are back together. Like, they're out on a date, they're bowling, they're with Randy Robertson. It just reminded me of, like, a Spider-Man comic in the 60s or 70s. I love this whole back to basics thing. So this story's a little interesting. Like, you think, oh, why is Spider-Man and Peter Parker fighting? Well, this isn't a clone, and this isn't a clone either. So what happened in the last issue when Peter Parker was with Kirk Connors, there was a machine in the room similar to the one that created Spider-Man in the first place, the radioactive spider. And Peter Parker got in the way, and the machine hit him. And what the machine does is it splits that person into two beings. So there is now two Peter Parkers, but one Peter Parker is choosing to be Peter Parker, and one Peter Parker is choosing to be Spider-Man. So now Peter Parker can spend all the time he wants with Mary Jane and not have to worry about being Spider-Man. Like, he doesn't have to leave her, he doesn't have to worry about responsibilities. But the dilemma here is, and Curt Connors lets Peter know, when the person is split into two, one person keeps all the power and the other person loses all their like memories, and they become stupid, and they're just not the person that they were before. And Peter realizes that he's the stupid one, and the person running around as Spider-Man is the smart one. So he's not really all himself, and he needs to find a way to be Spider-Man again to basically get his life back, because he doesn't want to like fade into non-existence and be like one of these rats. Because Curt Connors did like an experiment with rats. He splitted them, and one rat became really dumb and one became really smart. But yeah, really good story. Nick Spencer's killing it. Like, people were skeptical because Secret Empire was a garbage story from last year, but usually Marvel's big events are. I didn't really blame him for that, but Spencer's good. Otley's okay at best, but I see that after issue 5, Ryan Otley is leaving the book and Humberto Ramos is taking over, and I love Humberto Ramos drawing Spidey, so that'll be really good. So starting with issue 6, you got like a Boomerang story where Boomerang is his like roommate with Randy, so that's that storyline. Now we got 2 more issues of this. Oh, and side note, Spider-Man fights the Tri-Sentinel in this issue. Good callback to, I think, issue 329, 330, something. Eric Larson drew the cover. I'll throw it up on the screen. Good cover, good story from back in the 90s. So in the next issue, it's like the aftermath of the Tri-Sentinel fight, and then in issue 5, this Back to Basics wraps up, and hopefully it stays good. And a book that everyone picked up this week, Fantastic Four, issue number 1. Oh my goodness. And this is legacy number 646. So the Fantastic Four have been gone for years, man. Like, years. Like, I don't remember seeing a Fantastic Four book on the stands for like 10 years. Like, I was a teenager last time they all came out. And I know Marvel has like a 2-in-1 book with just the Human Torch and the Thing. And the only criticism I have of this book is the fact that it's not a bad book, it's not a bad story. Anyway, this book, it just felt like another one of those Marvel 2-in-1 stories. Like, the whole book is just the Human Torch and the Flash, and wondering if Sue and Reed are going to come back with the children. There's like a little flashback scene, and they introduce a new character, and they show like where they were, and then you see Sue and Reed working on a like signal in the sky. That's what the story is called, Signal in the Sky. And then they flash the Fantastic Four symbol into space, and then Human Torch and Thing see that they're still out there, they're still alive, and the Thing proposes to his girlfriend, so they're going to get married. And the best part of this issue comes at the very end. We see the return of Doctor Doom, but not the new version where he's been like an anti-hero. We see villain Doctor Doom come back, and he is disfigured again, and it looks like he is going to wreak havoc. I am very, very excited for the next issue. This one was just okay, you know. And Dan Slott has the ability to be a good writer. He just stay off Twitter, do your job. Because that last Red Goblin Spider-Man story was very good. Like, it's so weird. Dan Slott's Spider-Man got so good as he was leaving. It's like, I wanted him off the book for 10 years, and then he just gives us this amazing story, and I'm like, I don't want him to leave, and then he just leaves. It's okay. Amazing Spider-Man's a good book still, so it's okay. Superior Spider-Man, ironically, was Dan Slott's best run, and that wasn't even Peter Parker, it was Dr. Octopus. I just think he didn't know how to write the character of Peter Parker or Mary Jane. But he was good writing all of his side characters, like his villains and stuff. But yeah, I'm going to give Dan Slott another chance. I'm excited to pick up issue number 2 and see where it goes. So yeah, thank you for hanging out with me and looking at my new comic book. Sorry about all the distractions in the video. Hope you liked hanging out with me and Storm, Aurora Monroe. Hey guys, I just wanted to conclude my video. I just got back from Florida today, and I went to a cool comic shop in Florida. It is in Gainesville, Florida. So it's called All-Star Sports and Comics. They have an eBay store, so if you want to go there, check them out. And they just have really, really great prices. Batman 362 I got. It was a really cool back issue with the Riddler. He says, "Who says crime doesn't pay?" And Batman's like, I do. So yeah, pretty dope cover. So yeah, this is like a near mint condition, $8, pretty cool. And this is a really good key issue, Batman 570, The Code, Part 1. This is the first Harley Quinn in a Batman title comic book. Her first appearance was in Batman Adventures 12, as you all know. And then her first in a DC continuity is, I think it's not Batman Mad Love, but you know, it's the famous like Alex Ross cover where the Joker's dancing with Harley Quinn, like they mimicked it in Suicide Squad. But this is her this is her third appearance and her first in Batman. Got it for $3, man. Just digging through the cheap boxes. Same with these other issues here too. I got Batman 525 for $3. This is one of Killer Croc's first appearances. It's like his second or third appearance, and it's also the third appearance of Jason Todd. Beautiful cover right here, man. And then Detective Comics 647, and this is the first appearance of Stephanie Brown, who later becomes Spoiler, so also $3. And then for $1, I got Batman White Knight number 5. So yeah, $1. So all this for like $18, $20, yeah, good stuff. You know, every time I say I'm gonna conclude my video, I come back the next day with more comic books. So I'm just gonna make this like a 2-week video in the making. Just all the comic books I picked up in the last 2 weeks. So today was New Comic Book Day. I went out and I picked up a bunch of books, a lot of dollar books. I found a lot of great dollar books, a lot of cool new books as well. Got Avengers Infinity War in the background, my favorite movie of the year. Marvel Studios' best movie. Don't at me. Infinity Wars 2. Man, was this was a great read. Wow. This story's really surprising me. I thought it wasn't going to be good because I didn't like that Gamora was Requiem, but after reading this, I'm really, really digging it. There's a cool backstory between Gamora and Thanos. When Thanos is trying to explain that eventually my reign will be over, someone will come and kill me and take my place, which is ironic because Gamora killed Thanos and like took his head. And he was happy to die at the hands of his daughter because at least it was his favorite daughter, and Thanos met death. And some crazy stuff happens in this issue. Doctor Strange uses the Time Stone to bring Star-Lord back, and they're all fighting Requiem, and Requiem just kills like everybody, like kills Warlock, kills Doctor Strange, kills Captain America. I don't expect any of these guys to stay dead very long. No one really stays dead long in the Marvel Universe. And Loki shows up at the end of the book and offers his services to Gamora. Yeah, man, this is a great read. If you're not, like, usually Marvel events are terrible. This is an event done right. I love it. I love this cover. Mike Deodato is rocking the art. I am loving that. And the one Middleton cover I was able to grab was Batgirl 25. I love these covers. It's a shame he won't be doing them anymore. They are redoing Batgirl's costume. I think Sean Gordon Murphy's doing that cover, which is cool because I loved his Batman White Knight artwork. But yeah, this one was actually surprisingly easy to get. People just kind of picked up on how popular 23 and 24 were, but they were so rare and hard to get. But this, my shop had like 20 copies. But nonetheless, it is a beautiful cover. I literally got to my shop at 11:01. 11:01, and I'm with my daughter, so you know, it takes me a while to get into the shop, so there's like 11 people lined up, 10, 11 people lined up already, and I get there right when they open. I wanted that Aquaman 39 with Mara on the cover when she's on the throne, and another Middleton cover. That thing was sold out in a minute. All those 10 people got that cover. And that thing's going for like $20 online already. Sucks. Oh well, I'm happy with my Batgirl. And I know I said I wouldn't buy Batman anymore. I passed on the last 2 Batman issues, but I picked up 53 because this is a beautiful cover. I'm in love with the purple, and I like the bat plane down here. And this is it's not a key issue, but it's cool. Like, Lee Weeks draws a good Batman, and there's a lot of Batman in this issue. There hasn't been the previous 2. At the very end of this issue, Batman returns in his classic costume, much like how Superman returned in his classic costume in Action 1000. So Batman's got his classic utility belt back, his underwear back, back in the classic costume. Big fan of that. I like the rebirth suit, but nothing can ever beat the classic. And the last new book I got was Pearl. This is by Brian Michael Bendis. I'm kind of like mixed on Bendis, but you know, Jessica Jones is one of his greatest creations, and this is the same creative team that created Jessica Jones. I can't wait to give it a read. His original solo work is usually better than his work on superheroes because he doesn't have to change anything. It can be his own thing. So, can't wait. Now, all these books I got for $1. I'm damn happy. Actually, I'm going to show you these first. These, my dad moved to Florida, so I just picked these up from the house. I got Peter Porker, the Spectacular Spider-Ham. This is the first appearance of Spider-Ham. Pretty cool. I know they just recently made a Marvel Legend of him. I'm probably going to pick that up when it goes on clearance because I can't justify spending $20 on that because that's like an accessory. And I also forgot this in my house. I got it back. Spider-Gwen issue 1. This is her in her first solo book. It sucked. I was collecting comics at this time in 2014 when Edge of Spider-Verse came out. And I missed out on number 2. And I just it went over my head that it was her first appearance. So I have this. I'll probably never own her first appearance. Oh yeah, and I was at the comic shop today, and Edge of Spider-Geddon came out, and I literally had it in my hand, and I like put it down to like go get a better copy, and I forgot to pick up the better copy. So like, I forgot it at the store. I'll have to go back and get it. All right, but all these were $1 right here, which is great. This is Daredevil 255, and this is the second appearance of Typhoid Mary. She is making a huge comeback because she is supposed to be in the Netflix show, Season 3 Daredevil, and in The Punisher. And this is the first time Typhoid Mary and Daredevil meet. So, pretty key book. Second appearance and first time they ever meet in comics. The previous issue is actually gaining quite a bit of steam. So if you can get that graded at like a 9 or higher, I recommend that. 244, I think. And these are all Amazing Spider-Mans. And you know me, I'm trying to get all of them. I just want all the Amazing Spider-Mans. And I love Mark Bagley, one of my favorites. So this is $3.96. I love the black Daredevil costume. That's the new logo. Not a fan of that new logo. $3.92, beautiful cover. This is a homage to one of the best covers ever, number 50, if not the best, besides Amazing Fantasy 15. That's cool. Peter Parker no more instead of Spider-Man no more. Next we got $3.82 with him and the Hulk. Love this. And then we got $3.76. This is Cardiac and Sticks and Stone. And Mark Bagley, he always did a great Spider-Man. I loved when he did Ultimate Spider-Man in the early 2000s when I was a kid. That was like my introduction to comics, was like Ultimate Spider-Man #1. I'll never forget when my grandfather and my dad would always buy me Ultimate Spider-Mans. And then I found Deathstroke, the Terminator issue #1. Couldn't pass that up. And then this is just a classic Batman cover. This is Legends of the Dark Knight 17, and it is part of the Venom storyline. This is one of the best Batman stories ever. If you can find Venom in trade paperback or find the single issues, I highly recommend picking that up. Yeah, guys, it's my haul for today. A lot of dollar books. It was a light week for new books. I just got to go back and pick up that Edge of Spider-Geddon and hopefully find that Aquaman 39. But until next time, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Peace out, guys.